You know, they say that you can be conditioned or trained when you're little. Well, I don't consider either one of them positive upbringing. Um, Disciplined, strict, guided in the right way. Not limited, limited by people's opinions of you and what you will be and who you will be, or what you can do and what you can't do. Conditioned to walk on eggshells, think abuse is love, think pain is love, think that if you're not people pleasing for others, that you can never be loved by another. Kindness is not just a given, but the world gives it back, is what you're taught. That's conditioning. Pain is love. It's the hardest condition there is. It's kind of like a pedophile, like conditioning you to be what they need you to be, but instead your parents and people around you are teaching you that you can't be what you want to be or who you think you can be. They limit what you can be. They abuse you so you think you can't do better. They legit tell you to stay in relationships that are not good for you. They're not protecting you. They're enabling the abuse from others to you. Yeah. My brothers abused me verbally and physically, and then molested me, and nothing was ever done. And looking back, I'm like, I was seriously conditioned to know enough to get by, but not enough to excel my parents. Like, my mother didn't teach me how to cook. Limited me. Because now that I do cook and shit, and have, every time a man tells me it's not good, I will emotionally shut down and stop cooking. Like, I will have a breakdown about cooking. Because that's what I was told as a child, is I wasn't never good enough. My food was never right. Not how to critique it. Not, hey, next time you use a little bit of this. No, it was, that's not good enough. That wasn't right. That's nasty. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then my dad started making us cook one day a week or whatever, or help, when I was about 16, 17, something like that. And it was limited. Like, it wasn't me actually being taught. It was what you learn, you use, and if you don't know, then you don't cook it. But my sister was taught, but I wasn't. And so you taught me to not believe in myself. So when others put me down, I don't believe in myself. I believe them over myself. Because that's what you all did my whole life. Yeah. Limit me. Guess what? No more limits. Nobody can set limits no more. I don't care if you like my cooking. I don't care if you like the way I dress. I don't care if you like my cars. I don't care if you like the freaking way I talk. I don't care if you like the way I laugh, as my father would tell me. I have the worst laugh in the world. You're my fucking dad, you dipshit. You don't tell your daughter that shit. But, not in my life. My life, God, dog. We tell you anything we can, put you down. We don't build you up. We don't encourage you. We don't tell you the sky's the limit, do what you want. If you determine hard enough, you can get there. No. So, knowing I was that way, trained that way, Now, that's some shit I broke when I had my kids. I didn't hide shit from my kids. Anything. I should have been a little bit more delinquent on money and bills on my kids' plate. But the money and bills were kind of like, we can't do that because we don't have the money all my life. So I didn't know that was wrong. But as far as not lying to my kids, no, I never lied to them. I didn't play my parents. Letting my kids be free sexually, as far as when they became where they're interested, me letting them watch porn, sure did. Because I know people who are very overly sexually active because they were sheltered in that area. And they were molested. And they thought that sex would keep them away. So, and they were sexually unokay with themselves to the point where the molestation was not the only thing that ever happened. They got raped later in life. So, knowing that, I had let my kids have a little bit more freedom than what I had. Now, my brother had that when he was little, but I didn't. I wasn't allowed to watch porn. I wasn't allowed to talk about sex. I wasn't told, if you're gay, I'll love you still, and none of that shit. And I did my kids. But, like I said, I should have kept my mouth shut about bills and shit a little bit more, but I didn't know that was wrong. And losing my temper, because I got my parents' temper. I regret that. But as far as breaking them from, there's limits in this world, no, there's no limits. If you want it bad enough, you work hard enough for it, you get what the fuck you want. Determination gets you a lot further than fucking you're limiting yourself. And then, see, when my kids went to my brother decided to limit my kids. So, you can't do that, you can't be this, you can't do that. That's limits. Don't put a ceiling on my kids. Don't put a ceiling on me. You don't know what I can do. See, here's the thing. I believe in a God. I believe in miracles, and I believe anything is possible. Shit, I can make it to 160 if that's what God's will is for me. I could die tomorrow. It's God's will. When it's my time, it's my time. All I'm here to do is try to make the best of it. And actually live for once. Instead of be put in boxes and be miserable and take medication and want to commit suicide every day. And I'll tell you what, that trip with my mom made me want to commit suicide again. And my depression was under control prior to that trip. I had moments, but not like it was that trip. It really determines who's around you, brings out your depression and what you're willing to deal with. But what you don't know is when depression comes, sometimes you can't fight the dark. You just gotta sit in it and realize the light's coming. If you work hard enough to find that light again. I fought hard to get to my light. So when my darkness comes, you don't know my demons. You didn't fight my demons with me. I fought them with God alone. And sometimes I still feel like I'm fighting them. And that's okay. Because I'm fighting, I'm not giving up. There's a lot of people give up. And that's the difference why I say I have no limits. Because I'm not giving up no more. One of these days I'm going to wake up. And I'll be where I prayed for. But I already do that now. Because a year ago I prayed to be here. 10 days ago I prayed to be home. Worst part is home didn't feel like home before I left it. Home still doesn't feel like home. But it's more home than what I left to deal with. That'll never be my home again. And when she gets old, she's going to the fucking nursing home. Because I'm not going to live in that for the rest of my life. When I was a kid, my mom used to yell at us about food, drink. Well, me. Let me specify me. About if I ate, if I drank, if I sat wrong, if I breathed wrong. That trigger went off. And right now I'm fighting every demon I can to get that trigger back under control. Because that trigger is triggering my depression. And if you fight depression and anxiety, don't give up. We got this. We'll make it through. They don't control it no more. We're not who we used to be. They might be able to trigger it, but they can't control it no more. They can't keep us there. As long as you find that light, they can't keep you in the dark. People who want to bring you down and still build you up, they don't deserve access to you. Because all they're going to do is keep trying to break you down. And one day it's going to work. One day you're going to have to commit suicide because of it. I've tried to commit suicide more than once. I'm just glad I didn't succeed. And I'm glad I see the big picture right now. As far as what I have to do. Instead of the little one I used to see. Which is, I'm not enough. No, I am enough. I'm more than enough. I'm magical as fuck when I want to be. And so are you. Shine your light. Darkness loves light, though. Remember that. Shine your light.